Okay, hi everybody. How are you doing? Thank you so much for making the time to join us today. And today we are talking about Velo packages. We have Aviv Fattal. He is a product manager at Velo, Amanda Martin, and Joshua Alphonse, and they are our developer advocates. And today we just ask that if you have any questions, you can insert them in the chat and we'll answer them at the end. And my name is Grace Myers. I'm the social media manager, and I will hand it off to Amanda.
Hey everybody, I'll be sitting around in the Q&A looking for good questions to feed to Aviv at the end. He's going to be our presenter today, but Joshua, Grace, and I will be fielding any questions that come through, and he will be answering them live at the end. So anything that comes up during the course of this, just drop it in the Q&A for us, and we will get to all of those either just by typing an answer back to you or letting Aviv answer at the end. You also, if you are part of our Discord server, you will have noticed that I dropped a little hint in there that I do have something fun to announce at the end of this. There will be a little challenge that we're going to start doing after these sessions. And it should be a lot of fun, and we have some prizes you can win. So I'll be telling you more about that at the end. You guys will be the first to hear it, so you'll be able to get a head start. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Aviv.
Okay, thanks, Amanda. Let me start by sharing my screen. All right. So, hi everybody. I'll start by quickly introducing myself. I'm Aviv. I'm a Velo product manager. I'm 34 years, live in Tel Aviv. Actually, I've been living in Tel Aviv almost all my life. I work at Wix for the past 3 years. Previously, I've worked for Microsoft. And on my free time, I like hiking, skiing, and when I get the time, even playing the piano. So on today's session, I'm going to speak about Velo packages. I'm going to explain you about the concept of Velo packages, why building and using Velo packages, the two groups of available packages we have. The first is public packages by Wix, and the second is private packages that you can build on your own. And then I'll go over a demo showing you how to create your own private package. And I'll end up by what's coming up next in our plan. So let's start. First, what are Velo packages? Velo packages is a concept we introduced a year ago. And essentially, those are code libraries similar to NPM packages for those of you who are familiar with NPM packages, just that they're written using Velo code and allow you to write your own code functionality and reuse it across multiple sites of yours. And why even build and use code packages? So two main reasons. The first reason is productivity. So oftentimes we see users that have multiple client websites they work on, and sometimes there are functionality that are being reused across multiple sites. And we want to provide professional tools for you as developers to be able to productively package your functionality and reuse it across your sites. Another reason for productivity is to be able to update a functionality written in a package on multiple sites in a single click. So assuming you have a new version and update to the functionality implemented in multiple sites, you'll be able to update the function directly to any of the sites where your package is installed in. Another important why we believe that writing code packages is efficient is code quality. So instead of copy-pasting code functions and code blocks between one project to another, and oftentimes we see users that keep code blocks in a side doc, and whenever they want to reuse this functionality, they simply go copy and paste this functionality to a new website. We want to provide tools to allow you to write code in a better quality and in better ways. And this concept of Velo packages help you do that. Another reason related to code quality is the ability to use code packages built by others. So oftentimes as developers, we use functions and functionality like in NPM built by other developers who are expert in that specific domain. And by installing packages that implement specific use cases built by others, of course, they have to be professional and reviewed, you can achieve a better code quality and implement the required use case faster. So the two groups of packages we have today are public and private packages. Public packages are packages built internally in Wix and are available publicly to any Velo developer who wants to use them. You can find them in the package manager, and I'll show you that during the demo in a few minutes. We have some packages available in different categories you can already install and implement. Two types of categories of packages. The first one is helper packages. For example, you can use Wix Data SQL package if you're familiar with the syntax of SQL and you want to be able to interact with your collections directly by writing SQL syntax. And another example for an helper package is the Wix Data Helpers that helps you easily perform common data actions working with the Wix Data APIs. Another category is integrations. So we implemented and developed a set of packages that are integrating with common third-party providers, such as Google Sheet integration or integration between the Wix members application and Twilio to be able to implement two-factor authentication in your site, and an integration between Wix Booking and Zoom. You have the full list of available packages in the Velo API reference site. You can check them out. Of course, that every package has its README file, which instructs you and guides you how to get started. The second group of packages are private packages, and that's what I'm going to focus in during the demo. So private packages essentially allows you to build your own functionality and reuse it privately across your sites. So with that, I'll start a demo. And what I want to do now is basically to move to an editor I opened before the meeting. So what you see here is a basic site with Wix members app installed in, no code at all. So you see that there is no code in this site, just the Wix members application installed. And I made an account in Twilio that I'll explain why in a second. So assuming now I want to implement an extra layer of security to the login and register page of my website. And by that, basically improve or extend the out-of-the-box capability for the login and register as part of Wix member application. So to do that, I'm going to write a package. The reason why I want to write a package as a developer is simply because I know that many of my clients are using login and register flows in their sites, and I want to add this functionality in multiple sites in the future. I want to build it once, have a single source of the functionality written in the code package, and reuse it across any new site that I want to add the two-factor authentication layer. So let's start. So the packages section is where you find the packages. Let me open the package manager. What you see here are two categories, the Velo packages, which are split to packages built by Wix that I explained about a few minutes ago. That's where you see the list of available packages built by Wix today. Each of those packages has a README file with detailed instructions on how to get started and how to implement the functionality. And the second is the private packages. And then we have external packages, which are known as NPM packages that are already available today for you. So let's start by creating the first private package for the two-factor authentication. So I'll click create a package. And when I click get started, then a new tab is opened. The new tab is basically the blocks editor that allows you to write the code functionality of your package. It's a little bit different than the editor. So what you see here is a blank template with a set of resources that can help you get started. And the left tree, as I said, different than the one you use to work with in the editor. It has a set of public and backend files you can add. It has a configuration file. You can also add NPM dependencies to your package code, and you can add a README file to document your package. I'll start by installing two dependencies to my package code. The first one will be the Twilio NPM package that will allow me to easily interact with the Twilio third-party account. Twilio will be in charge of sending the confirmation SMS for the second security layer that I'm now implementing. The second NPM package will be a package called phone that helps me interact with countries and code countries. So to be able to choose as a user my country and get the code country, I'll use this package. Now, after I install those dependencies, let's start by adding the functionality of the package. I'll add two web modules to my package. Let's have the first one and call it data methods. I won't get into the details of the actual functionality, but simply explain about the function that I added here. I added a function that simply takes care of changing the selected country by the user into the relevant code area code of the country. And I'm adding another JSW file, which I'll call login wrapper. And this file will actually hold the brain of this package functionality, which is the interaction with the Twilio account, the ability to send an SMS for confirmation for the user. It's as part of the register and also as part of the login. So you can see that there's a lot of code in this package I want to implement. And instead of having to copy paste this code across multiple sites of mine, once I want to reuse the functionality, I have a single source of truth. I pack it as a package. And of course, that I can create versions for this package, and I'll show you that in a few seconds. I'm adding a public file as well. I'll call it init page. And the purpose of this file basically is to allow me to call the backend functions and interact with my front-end part of the site and the backend file of the package. And you'll see that in a few seconds. Okay, so assuming that I now completed coding my package functionality, I want to mention 2 points here. One, you can test specific functions of your package as you would do in a normal site, simply by clicking the play button next to the function, assigning the relevant parameters, running the function, and seeing the output. So we provide you testing tools along the development of the package. And you can also create a test version of this package before you create an official version. So assuming you're still in the development phase, you're not yet ready to release a major or minor version, an official version of the package, and you want to create a version that allows you to quickly test the changes in a real site. Then you would use a test version. For the purpose of this demo, let's start by building an actual version of the package and call it Wix 2FA auth. I can add a description. And after I hit save, then I get to choose if I want to build a minor or major version for this package. The first version will always be a major version. And I add a release note I can later on take a look at to track the changes between versions. So let's add a release note, my first version, and it build. It takes a few seconds for the package to be built. Once it's done, you'll get instructions on how to go next from here. Let's see that. Okay, I can see that the first version is now built, and I have instructions that guide me to go to the editor and find the relevant package in the package manager. So let's do that. Let's go back to our website. And again, under packages, I can click the plus button under my username folder. You notice here that there are two folders. One is the Velo folder, which I install the public packages available by Wix. And the other one is my username folder, where I install my own private packages. So let's hit install from my packages. And we can see that the Wix 2FA auth package that I just created is available here. Of course, that only I, as the package creator, can see this package. It's a private package. Other users can't see that package. Now, later on, assuming I install additional versions, I can find those versions here. I can also choose to install a test version if I made some changes that I'm not yet ready to publish as an official version. But let's install this package. One more thing to note here is the ability for me as the developer to set automatic updates for minor versions. That allows me basically to be able to create new minor versions of my package and make them push automatically to any of the websites where those packages are installed in. So in terms of productivity, and it's relevant for some use cases, that could help you make the change in a single place, in the single source of truth, which is the package, and make it be pushed automatically to any relevant site. Okay, you can see that under my username folder, I have the Wix 2FA auth package, and I can see the list of files that I created as part of this package. Those files, when installed in a site, are read-only. If I want to change the functionality, I'll be able to edit this package by clicking the package folder and edit package and create as many versions as I want through the blocks editor. One more thing to notice is that the files here that you see when the package is installed are only visible for you as the package creator. When you deliver the site to other users, to your clients, they won't be able to see the code behind the package functionality. Okay, so next, I just want to show you how do I actually implement the functionality of this package. So I have the register login, no code behind. I want to start by importing the package. So let's do that. You can see the autocomplete, which shows me the available packages. Currently, we have the Wix 2FA package. And similar to working with the Wix APIs, you can work with the Wix 2FA authentication in the front end and in the back end. In this case, I'm writing front-end code, and I'm using the Wix2FA auth. Let's add it and use the, let's use the init function that is part of the package. I can see the autocomplete is available and it offers me to use this function. Let's use it. I'm now gonna add the code related to this form and explain to you what it's all about. So basically all this code does is to take the fields from the register and login form and sign them into an object called components, and then initiate the functionality of the package with the object of components. In the background, the package gets the data from the register or login form, and by using the data that the user assigned, the different functionalities of the package that implement the two-factor authentication are actually running. Okay, so let's hit publish. And view the site. Okay, now assuming that I'm an already registered member, previously to working with and implementing this package, my login steps would be a single one, simply adding my email and password. And I now added an extra layer of getting a confirmation code using the Twilio on the background. I'm opening my phone, and I just got a confirmation code, which I'm entering. I click login. And assuming that everything worked, I'm logged into the site with an extra layer of security that I can now reuse at any new site that I choose. Cool. So just one more thing I want to show you is the ability to see all the versions. So now we only have the test version I can use as part of testing, and the first version that I released a few minutes ago. And lastly, I wanted to show you that you can also document the functionality of your package through the README markdown file you have in the package editor. You can describe the functionality, preview it, and this README will also appear when installing the package. Basically, that's what you see on the right side here, just that we see the template because I didn't change the default template. And I think that's it. We keep working, adding functionalities to the packages. Let me share a bit on where are we adding next. So as I mentioned, today we already have public packages by Wix and private packages that you can build. We're adding functionalities to those, and we are currently in the work of supporting the ability to create full application that includes widgets, collections, and code, and allow you to create a full application privately. That's work in progress. And for those of you who are familiar with the blocks environment, then basically what we want to do is to have a single environment where you can create your full application, including backend code, widgets, and collections. And I think that's it.
Aviv, thank you so much. This is really informative. I know I really liked seeing the process of how to build a Velo package from scratch. I know when I first got here, it was a little confusing to me to get started, and you really cleared up a lot for me. One question that came through, and maybe you can speak a little more on this, what would you say is the main difference between building your package for NPM versus Velo? What are the advantages of building a Velo package for your Wix sites?
Yeah, so here I'd say that first, you build the package, the code, the functionality on top of the Wix editor, the blocks editor in that case. And so you have the ecosystem inside your Wix account where you can create your packages, maintain them, have specific functionalities like I showed you of auto update or not, which you can choose from the UI of the site where the packages are installed in. In addition, as I mentioned, the longer run vision is to be able to allow you to build full applications that not only include the code part, but also includes widgets, for example, so you can create a full application. Of course, I can't commit to time, but that's definitely on our agenda. We're working hard to get there. I'm excited about that. One more thing that is unique to Velo packages is the fact that it talks the Velo and Wix language. So you can add web modules, you can add HTTP functions or event handlers to your package. You can import the different business apps through the Wix APIs, which is unique to the language of Wix and Velo.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It sounds like it's really building something that's going to be completely compatible and future-proof and able to access those APIs and other tools that you have in your Velo dev environment. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
This is kind of a question that tacks on to what you were talking about, the ability to build your own kind of full apps in the future. And I know you can't speak too much about the timeline for that yet, but do you happen to know, another question came through, will there be the opportunity for anybody to be able to sell anything that they've built through this new emerging platform that is being built to be able to build your own apps? Will they be able to kind of sell or share users packages publicly in the future, similar to how we have Velo packages on the site for install by anybody now? Do you know if that's coming?
Yeah, so we're definitely thinking of those directions and trying to figure out what's the right monetization model and relevant model to share packages and full applications with others. So definitely something we are working hard on finding the right solution for. So can't commit to a specific solution, but help us, send us feedback, ask questions, and of course, we'll take those into account.
Yeah, definitely. And for anybody on the call, if you're a part of our Discord, the best place to add feedback is in our feedback channel. And then here in developer relations, we get that information to the best people to be able to assess some of those ideas that you guys have. I know a question that I had that I don't believe you covered in the beginning is, how long have Velo packages been around? And do you know what the first one was? I was curious.
So if I remember correctly, the first one was the Wix data helpers that I gave you as an example in the slides that I presented. We released the concept of public packages almost a bit over a year ago, in March last year. We started with the public packages, and then we introduced the ability to write your own private packages later that year. It was on November, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
All right. Do we have any other questions? Drop them in the Q&A quick while we still have Aviv here. And I'll give a few minutes to see if anybody else has anything come in. And if something comes up to you after this chat, drop it in Discord. Aviv is around, and we can get to your questions later, especially as you start exploring building your own packages if you haven't attempted that before.
We are definitely looking into your feedback. It's important for us to go in the right direction, to hear your thoughts, your experience. So,
are there any new packages, public packages coming, Aviv, that you're allowed to talk about yet?
Not something I can actually commit or talk about, but
No problem.
Stay tuned.
I know you guys are always working on more exciting packages, so I'm sure we'll hear about them as they roll out.
For sure.
All right, I don't see any other questions coming in right now, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're going to start doing in the Discord in relation to these different roundtable presentations. So today we're going to roll out the first roundtable challenge and contest, and it's going to be all about packages. We'll be dropping the rules in the Discord later today. You're going to see a new challenge, roundtable challenge channel pop up later, where we'll put all these official rules into the Discord. So the gist of it is, and you can read through the details later, is that you're going to create a package, and it can be anything. Get creative. You're going to follow these same steps that Aviv showed you today to create your own package. When you're done, you're going to drop that in the Discord. We ask that you add a link to your site, the name of your package, and a short description. And then ideally, you're going to want to also do a little screen recording of what the package does so that everybody in the Discord can see it. Sometimes the package code, like, we won't necessarily know what it's doing. So if you can do a little screen recording of what that functionality does so that members of the community can kind of vote on their favorites as well. Now, for the contest, there's a few different things that you are competing for. Anybody who commits to adding a submission, assuming that it's valid, the package works, it has all the parts that it should, and all the rules are adhered to, everybody gets, server points from Grace. She'll be handing those out. We also have 5 prize packs from Wix that we're going to draw at random. So at the end of the week, and this will be a week-long challenge, we're going to put those into a randomizer, pull out 5 people to send some gifts to. And the other thing specifically with packages that Aviv has offered is to go through and take a look at some of these packages that are interesting and maybe some new unique functionality that we don't currently offer. And if there's anything that looks like it could be packaged as an official Velo public package, Aviv is going to reach out to you to talk about what that would look like to have us develop and deploy that, crediting you as the author and inventor of that idea. So that'll be based on some things that Aviv is reviewing. So he's going to take a look at all of this code too. So be sure to link the site that has the active package on it to us. We'll be putting those rules in there. If there's anything that's not clear, just tag any of us in DevRel in the Discord server, and we'll be able to clear up those rules for you. So really exciting to start this. We would also love to hear how these challenges are going. This is our very first one, and we're going to be kind of modifying how we do these as we go. So definitely feedback on the structure of the challenge and if it's useful to you as well. And that's everything for today. Aviv, did you have any final words or anything you want to say before we end this session?
No, just want you to try out the feature, give us feedback, and rather than that, happy to talk and be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time with us today. This was a really great session. And thank you to everybody for joining.
Thank you.